Hey, I'm Kerry Condon and I'm here to look at all the amazing movies and to pick out some of my favourite movies. There's one up here. Christ, I have to get up on this stool now, which is going to be a bit of a pain with these feckin' heels, but do I want to take it with me? Yeah, I suppose I do, because it means a lot to me. This movie, Night of the Hunter, it's a very, I bet you know, loads of you know it. It's a very famous movie, and Martin McDonagh, when I first met him, was like, Night of the Hunter this, Night of the Hunter that, you have to watch Night of the Hunter. And I remember watching it and having a big effect on me, and I remember, didn't he have tattoos on his hands that really stuck out to me. So I'm going to take this one and then maybe I'll give it to Martin for a present, or maybe I'll keep it. There's some, Fish Tank, Andrea Arnold, that's a great one. And what's his name? Michael Fassbender's character's a real bollocks in it. And Ken Loach is another one I love. George Washington, that was brilliant. And that was your man's first film, that guy, David Gordon Green. It captures youth and childhood and it makes you remember like when you were a kid and what that was like. And I think that's kind of hard. Like, first of all, acting with children and directing children is really hard. You have to be really delicate because it's like they're kids. But it's also, to kind of put yourself in what your mind was like as a kid. That was I remember that movie being brilliant. Let's see, The Tin Drum. Do you know, I will say this, The Tin Drum, I remember seeing that. There's a good few movies that I've seen when I was in my early 20s, and I'm not going to lie, like, I was kind of stoned, so I vaguely remember them, and I've seen them, so there's a lot of movies I should re-watch. Actually, I'll take The Tin Drum, because I saw it when I was very young, and maybe it'll all come flooding back to me. Sometimes as well, do you ever go out with somebody, like I go out with someone and they're like, what bands do you like? And you know they're trying to check like how cool you are or whatever. So sometimes I feel that way about movies. It's like, hang on a minute, like I'm entitled to my own taste, even if it's not like super highbrow. So hopefully I'm not being judged. Oh, Secrets and Lies. I won't take this because I've seen it loads, but when I was young and I wanted to be an actress, Brenda Blethyn in this was so inspiring. She was nominated for an Oscar, I believe, at the time. And Mike Leigh, his method of, his style of... Actually, I'll take it, actually, because I want to work with Mike Leigh and I don't want to screw myself out of a job. So, I love Mike Leigh and I loved Secrets and Lies. There's one up there that I'm not going to take, all right? Because I can see it. A, it's high up, and B, I have it already. But McCabe and Mrs. Miller... Will I get it? Do you want me to get it? I'll get it and I'll show it to you. But the reason I'm not taking it, because I have it, is because an ex-boyfriend gave it to me. And I started watching it and I was like, do you know what? Turn it off. So there you go, McCabe and Mrs. Miller. I'm sure it's great, but he did a bit of a number on me. So, Valley of the Dolls. Valley of the Dolls is brilliant. That's one you'd kind of watch all the time. It's so entertaining. I feel bad now. McCabe and Mrs. Miller is probably great. Maybe in time. You know, time heals all wounds, as they say. My favourite. And I see it. And it's my favourite movie. And I've mentioned it before, so I hope I'm not, like, repeating myself. Dogfight. Oh, my God. Dogfight. There's so many reasons why I really like this movie. I watched it when I was very, a teenager and I really wanted to be an actress. So Lily Taylor in this movie completely affected how I thought about acting and how I thought about like what kind of actress I wanted to be, because the movie's basically about these bunch of young lads are heading off to fight in Vietnam the next day, but the night before they go, they have this game called Dogfight where the challenge is to bring the ugliest girl to a party, and the guy who brings the ugliest girl wins. And River Phoenix, he's so brilliant in it, and he looks so young and innocent to be going off to Vietnam, and he's trying to find someone, and it's late at night and he can't find someone, and then he goes into a cafe and he finds beautiful Lily Taylor. But in the story she's not beautiful, she doesn't look perfect or whatever people think is beautiful. But anyways, he takes her out, and there is a scene, she finds out it's a dogfight. I'm not giving the whole story away, I'm just giving you the first bit of it. But there's a scene where she's playing the piano and she's singing a song and he's watching her and there's no dialogue. I'm going to start crying just thinking about it because he's smoking this cigarette and he's watching her. And he was such a pure, beautiful actor that like he starts to realise that, oh, hang on, she's really sweet and she's really deep and beautiful. And actually, I don't want to hurt her. And it all happens just in his face while he's smoking, watching her. And it is so beautiful because it affected me as an actress, but also about love. It made me think that, like, you know, love is like so personal and how someone affects your soul. And lads, this movie's amazing. And like, it was directed by a woman too. So it's all, you know, women directors this, women directors that. This movie was directed by a woman a long, long time ago. And I don't think it got the recognition it deserves. All right, let's see. The last one. Oh, this is tricky. It could be All About My Mother, amazing. But then it's between All About My Mother or The Prince of Tides, which is super romantic. And I worked with Nick Nolte and he was like, you know, one of my favourite people to work with. He really influenced me and he was just wild and amazing to be around and to work with. So, Jesus, lads, it's a tough call here. We got Pedro or we got Nick. And so I have to take both of them and I love them both. So, okay, shit, we're done. There's so many. Okay, thanks a million.